Anyway,
While we're
moving on.
talking about
Go on.
2020 films, just quickly,
Yeah.
do you have any worst films of the year? Anything you sort of watched which you're just like, nah, what's this?
I don't know. The Old Guard. That was pretty wank.
Yeah, that was pretty rubbish.
Pretty wanky. I think if there's anything else that I thought. I'll tell you what, actually, Nick. The other day I didn't tell you about this. I meant to, but I didn't. I started watching a film because I knew and this was maybe in, I think it was early December when we were about to kick off Ciné Rambles again with the live streams. And I was like, I'm gonna watch this film, and then I'm gonna talk to Nick about it, right? And it was this action film.
I'm getting nervous.
Called, fuck, what was it called? It was called Hard Kill.
Okay, I've not heard of it, I don't think.
It has Bruce Willis in it. It's a Netflix original, and it is, despite being a action film, I don't know if it's the most, but it is one of the most fucking boring films I've ever watched in my life. To the point where I got about 45 minutes in, fuck all had happened, I didn't understand what was going on with the plot, and it was just so boring that I gave up watching it and just never told you about it. Because I was like, oh Nick, I was in my head, I was like, why don't we both watch this film, and if it's really bad, we can, rant about it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or it might be like a hidden gem, but it wasn't. It was so fucking boring that it's just awful. And do you know how boring it is? Do you remember how shit The Old Guard was and how boring that film was?
Yes. I mean, Old Guard, I'm not sure if I'd say Old Guard was boring. It was untense, but...
Well, okay, yeah. But you know how in the beginning of The Old Guard, they, like, have this scene where they're all dead on the floor and they're like, oh, I really hate dying.
Yeah.
And then they cut to like, a couple of days beforehand, and then we then see how they're all on the floor like, oh, I hate dying, and then we see them stand up and shoot everyone.
Yeah.
Well, in Hard Kill, they had the same thing where the opening is them in medias res, where it's in the middle of this action scene, but it's all slow mode and in grey, it's all greyed out, and it's like they're all screaming for help, and then it has a close up on this guy, and he's got this gun, and it's like, oh my god, I wonder what's happening, and then it cuts to like one day before, and then it introduces the film. However, what could have been the one and only sort of vague, tense sort of twist in this moment, in what this bit is building up to, was ruined by this, because what this is supposed to be, right? I can't even be bothered to explain the fucking plot of this film because it's so dull. I can't be bothered.
That's convenient.
But basically, Bruce Willis he needs protecting, so he hires this team of like ex-military people, then they're like all mercenaries to protect him, and then the bad guys come and try to kill Bruce Willis. Okay?
Right.
But the point is, you think it's supposed to be like, this easy protection job, but actually they're sending this whole army after Bruce Willis. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's some of the intro. Okay, no, right. Oh, fucking hell. I just don't know if it's worth the effort.
Well, is it going to take the whole evening if you try to explain this plot?
But, they get to this... They get to this warehouse. The same warehouse that's in the intro, and they're like, "Oh no, this was the setup. We're going to be attacked," and it's supposed to be this twist, right? But they fucking showed us that in the introduction. It's the same fucking warehouse of them getting shot at, and having this big emotional, dramatic scene. And it's like, oh, maybe this would have been a slight moment of tension if we hadn't already known you were going to be under attack and this supposed surprise attack. Or if it was a surprise, maybe it would have been tension. But as soon as they start getting shot at, it's just like, oh yeah, this is just happening now because we already know this is happening because we've been told. It's just don't bother, Nick. Don't even look it up. It's a fucking terrible, terrible
I've already
film.
looked it up. It's a 4.1 on IMDb.
Yeah, it deserves that.
Screenplay by Joe Russo.
Well,
Is that the same? Hang on,
I hope not, because it's
not. It's not the Joe Russo.
It's not the Joe Russo. Okay, well that's all right then. Because that film was fucking appalling.
Right,
I think
and
it is the Joe Russo.
Is it?
If you click on it on Google, it goes on to the Joe Russo.
Not on IMDb, it doesn't. It goes on to a different. Not very much.
Oh, okay, right, yeah, fair enough. Anyway, that film was absolute hot garbage. So yeah,